In a bustling city where dreams collided with reality, there lived a young man named Ethan. He was an average guy with an unremarkable job at a local bookstore, where he spent his days surrounded by the scent of aged paper and the whispers of stories waiting to be told. Despite his mundane life, there was one thing that set Ethan apart: his unwavering affection for a girl named Lily. She was a vibrant spirit, a whirlwind of laughter and light who seemed to glide through life with an effortless grace. Ethan had first noticed Lily during a poetry reading at a cafe. She had been sitting at the front, her eyes sparkling with enthusiasm as she listened to the poet recite verses that danced in the air like fireflies. Her laughter rang out, a melodious sound that turned heads and warmed hearts. In that moment, Ethan felt an undeniable pull toward her. He spent weeks trying to muster the courage to approach her, but every time he saw her, his heart raced and his palms grew clammy. He was just another face in the crowd to her, a shadow in the background of her vibrant life. Days turned into weeks, and weeks into months, as Ethan silently admired Lily from afar. He watched her interact with others, her kindness radiating like sunlight, and he often found himself daydreaming about what it would be like to hold her hand, to make her laugh, to share his world with her. But every time he tried to speak, the words would get caught in his throat, and he would retreat, convinced that he was not worthy of her attention. One rainy afternoon, Ethan found himself shelving books when he overheard Lily discussing her favorite novels with a friend. His heart raced as he listened intently, hoping to catch her eye. She spoke with such passion that it ignited a spark within him. Gathering his courage, he decided to join the conversation, offering a gentle suggestion about a book he loved. To his surprise, she turned to him, her eyes lighting up with interest. They exchanged thoughts on literature, and for the first time, Ethan felt a connection. Though their interaction was brief, it was enough to encourage him. He began to frequent the cafe where she often spent her afternoons, hoping to catch her attention again. He started to leave little notes in the margins of the books he returned, quotes from her favorite authors, or lines of poetry that reminded him of her. At first, he was unsure if she noticed, but he could see her smile grow a little wider each time she found a note. It was a small victory, but it fueled his determination. As the months passed, Ethan's heart swelled with hope. He learned more about her interests, her dreams, and her fears, often through the stories she shared with friends. He began to find ways to be near her, volunteering at events where she was involved, joining book clubs she attended, and even taking up painting after learning it was one of her hobbies. With each passing day, he felt their lives intertwining in the most subtle yet profound ways. One evening, as he was leaving the bookstore, he saw Lily sitting on a bench in the park, her sketchbook resting on her lap. The sun was setting, casting a golden hue over everything, and she looked ethereal as she sketched the world around her. Gathering his courage, he approached her, heart pounding in his chest like a drum. "Hey, mind if I join you?" he asked, trying to sound casual. She looked up, surprise flickering across her face before it melted into a warm smile. "Of course! I could use some company." They spent hours talking, sharing stories and laughter as the sky turned from gold to deep indigo. For the first time, Ethan felt like he was truly seen, not just as a shadow, but as a person with thoughts and feelings. They talked about everything, from their favorite books to their dreams for the future. It was in that moment that Ethan realized he was no longer just an admirer. He was becoming a friend. As their friendship blossomed, Ethan found himself falling deeper for Lily. He loved the way her eyes sparkled when she talked about her passions, the way her laughter could light up the darkest days. He cherished every moment they spent together, but still, he feared crossing the line from friendship to something more. He was terrified of ruining what they had, but life has a way of nudging people toward their destinies. One evening, while attending a local art exhibition together, Ethan watched as Lily stood in front of a painting, her face illuminated by the soft gallery lights. She looked so beautiful, so alive. In that moment, he knew he had to take a leap of faith. He stepped closer, his heart racing, and gently took her hand. "Lily?" he said, his voice steady despite the whirlwind of emotions inside him. "I've been wanting to tell you something for a while now. I care about you more than just as a friend." She turned to him, surprise written all over her face, but there was a glimmer of something else. Curiosity, perhaps. Ethan, Before she could finish, he continued, I know this might change everything, but I can't keep pretending. You make me feel alive, and I want to be more than just friends. A silence hung between them, thick with anticipation. Then, slowly, a smile spread across her face. I'm so glad you said that. I've been feeling the same way, but was too scared to say anything. In that moment, the air around them shifted, and a new chapter began. Their friendship blossomed into a beautiful romance, filled with shared dreams, laughter, and countless adventures. They explored the city together, danced in the rain, and spent quiet nights wrapped in each other's arms, talking about everything and nothing at all. As the seasons changed, so did their relationship. They faced challenges, of course, but each obstacle only brought them closer. They learned to communicate, to support each other, and to cherish the love that had grown from a shy admiration into something profound and real. Years passed, and Ethan knew that he wanted to spend his life with Lily. One chilly autumn evening, he took her to the park, where they first shared their feelings. Underneath a canopy of twinkling stars, he got down on one knee, his heart racing with hope and anticipation. Lily, will you marry me? Tears of joy filled her eyes as she nodded, unable to find the words. He slipped the ring onto her finger, and in that moment, everything felt right. Their love story, which had begun with quiet admiration and blossomed through friendship, was now leading them toward a beautiful future together. On a sunny spring day, surrounded by friends and family, Ethan and Lily exchanged vows, promising to love and cherish each other for all eternity. As they stood hand in hand, gazing into each other's eyes, they knew that their journey had only just begun. What had started as a timid crush had evolved into a lifelong partnership, a testament to the power of love, patience, and the courage to take a chance.